Alright, so this is going to be my review over Jupiter's Legacy. This was a superhero show on Netflix. Little did I know when I watched it that it is inspired by a Mark Millar comic book. Did not know that going in. I did know going in that it was a canceled TV show, and just a preference, if you do check the show out, it ends in possibly the biggest cliffhanger that I've ever experienced in my entire life. But that out of the way, I want to talk about the things I like and dislike about the series, so let's get started. Let's start with the main man himself, Sheldon Sampson, which is the Utopian. He's basically the Superman kind of archetype in this universe. Probably the most powerful person in the universe. Now, Sheldon is actually a super interesting, super compelling character. One of the things I really like about this series is the flashbacks between the present day and about the 1920s, 1930s time period. It really, explores how compelling of a character. On the surface, you would think he's just your typical Superman copycat, but he is far more interesting, far more in depth, and he has this thing called the Code that he basically tries to keep him in check. Particularly no unaliving is like one of the most important rules. It's something that is very core to his character, and it gets combated a lot throughout the series, which obviously brings a interesting aspect to the long-ranging story. All right, and this is Brandon Sampson. This is the son of Sheldon. His superhero name is Paragon. Now, to keep it, non-spoilery in this, let's just say he does something to break the code, and it's extremely impactful throughout the entire series. One thing I like about this character is when he does break the code, you could see that he's grieving. You could see that he's upset. That it's tearing him up inside that he had to do what he felt like he had to do. I'm familiar with, I guess, the comics. He's not the same way, but I do like this portrayal of this character on the small screen. Now, some of the things I didn't like about the series. This is Chloe Sampson. This is the daughter of the Utopian, and I'm just going to say this. She might quite possibly be the most unlikable character I've ever seen in any television show up to this day. Now, I understand she has this, trauma of, not feeling accepted. She doesn't want to be a superhero, but she has these abilities. She's always been, basically trained to live up to the standards of the Utopian, which is admittedly a high standard to live up to. But she clearly doesn't want it, and I understand that maybe her character would have had an arc had we gotten a season 2, but for only one season, possibly the most unlikable character. I can't see any reason to genuinely care about this character, which saddens me that we didn't get a season 2, because I really wanted to see them explore her. I feel like there's a lot that they could do with the character, but we admittedly did not get it. Overall, Jupiter's Legacy is arguably one of my favorite one-season shows. I think there aren't many shows on this level that have had such intrigue, such questions that I wanted answers for, such things that could not leave my brain when I finished watching it. I will be doing a possible rant video where I'm just going to rant about the things I want to happen or what could have happened. But overall, if you're looking for a interesting look at superheroes, that's not The Boys, I would recommend checking out Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. Again, it's 8 episodes. Try to preference again. It's got a massive cliffhanger, but some of these characters are phenomenal. Particularly, Utopian is probably one of my favorite live-action superheroes, and I really wish we could have seen more of his character brought to live action. So, if you want to get my recommendation, I highly recommend check out Jupiter's Legacy.